Detective Adams walked into the crime scene and took a deep breath. He had been a detective for over a decade, but he still felt a sense of sadness every time he saw a dead body. He looked around the room, taking in the details. The victim, a young woman in her early 20s, was lying on the floor. Her eyes were closed, and her face was peaceful, as if she was sleeping. But the pool of blood under her head told a different story. Adams walked over to the body and carefully examined it. There were no obvious signs of struggle or violence, no bruising or scratches. The only thing that caught his attention was a small puncture wound on the victim's neck. He called over his partner, Detective Johnson, and together they searched the room for any clues. They found nothing out of the ordinary, no signs of a struggle or forced entry. It was as if the victim had let her killer in willingly. As they were leaving the room, Adams noticed a small, black notebook lying on the victim's nightstand. He picked it up and flipped through the pages. It was a diary, and the last entry caught his eye. "I met someone today. He was charming and handsome, and I couldn't resist his charm. We spent the night together, and it was magical. But now, as I lie in bed, I can feel his eyes on me, watching me. I'm scared, but I can't bring myself to leave. I'm in too deep." Adams showed the diary to Johnson, and they both knew what had happened. The victim had been seduced by her killer, who had then taken advantage of her trust and killed her. The puncture wound on her neck was the mark of a vampire, a symbol of the killer's twisted fantasies. They searched the city for anyone who fit the profile, and eventually, they found him. A young man, charming and handsome, just like the victim had described in her diary. He was arrested and tried for the murder, and eventually, he was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. Adams and Johnson walked out of the courtroom, knowing that justice had been served. But they both knew that they would never forget the young woman who had lost her life to a killer's twisted fantasies.